Oh yeah. So quick introduction. We've got Alan. You ever tried to say your last name correctly?
Byrne.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why.
Irish.
It is an Irish name. Yeah. I was just about to
Alan
say
Byrne. Alan Byrne. Gerald Webster. Dave Gray over there. Just having a chat with Alan about Cogmotive, about WPC.
Over a nice coffee.
Over a nice coffee, a second coffee.
Yeah.
Jimmy's coffee. More to the point.
Jimmy's coffee, Jimmy. So we've got Jimmy Hendricks, and we've got Jim Morrison over there. Nice quiet little area.
It is. It's not too hot. I'm liking it. So, did you have a good week?
Yeah, a busy week. It's my first WPC.
Oh, really?
Yeah, definitely.
It's my second. I was at WPC 14 in Washington DC. I was hanging out with Laurie and Strant there, and
Yeah.
Sean McNeil, all your other MVPs that you.
Yeah, they tend to get around.
Yeah.
Sean's moved on to Microsoft. Lorian's business paradigm got acquired by Generation E.
We met a couple of the guys from Generation E the other night, didn't we?
Yeah,
At
Jenny.
our party.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Was that
That was the
Game of Clouds?
Game of Clouds where we had Hodor.
Yeah. That was a good party.
It was. It was good to see, talking to a lot of the other BitTime guys, just how much we've grown.
Yeah.
And how many more people were sort of, at our party and asking lots of questions. And,
That was huge.
Yeah.
Well, hundreds of people there.
We ended up having, they said, about 1,000 registered, and we had 700 or 800 through the door.
Wow.
Is that right? I didn't know.
Yeah, they
knew
gave
there
us the
was
count. Yeah.
412 was the capacity or something, and we knew that we were well over that, but throughout the night it was good. It kind of ebbed and flowed.
It was a nice mix of that area where people could chat and it wasn't too loud and people could actually connect and network. And
most importantly, it was on the first day, so I wasn't partied out yet.
yeah, that is a good point.
At the end of the thing, I just I don't want to eat any more canapes. I've just lived on beer and canapes all week.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to going home and having a salad or something.
Yeah, we said the same thing.
Detox session.
Yeah, exactly.
It was that wake up, you've got time for breakfast, so you eat breakfast, then nothing until some canapes later on in the evening.
Yeah.
And then you wake up the next day, breakfast, nothing, canapes.
So that's the thing about WPC experience, and I kind of knew, like, even from doing SharePoint training and things like that there are going to be, that they are literally days where you're not going to get lunch. You're going to spend most of your time talking, so have a big breakfast is the big tip, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and have some throat lozenges because I lost my voice, you've lost your voice.
I have, yeah.
It's a tough week.
And have you seen, met, or heard G-Man Yip's voice?
I met G-Man for the first time on your booth on Wednesday, I think it was.
Yeah, so he's like, so when you think about Microsoft and migration lists, I'm sounding more and more like G-Man as I rip my throat out.
One of the company mottos, isn't it? You have to sound like the founder. But no, I met him for the first time on Wednesday, and I was telling him, really congratulating him running this amazing business. It's growing phenomenally since I started knowing him 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. 2 or 3 years ago, I think it was below 40, 20 people, something like that. Yeah, so it has been pretty big.
We've doubled the size of our staffing, I think, year on year for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, we doubled our company size from December to February.
So Cogmotive.
Yes.
So you've got
Cogmotive or Cognitive? No one really knows.
Okay, you tell me.
I don't know.
We started out by saying, how do I say Alan's last name? Byrne. So how do we say?
So the
C
US
word.
are all like Cogmotive,
Cogmotive.
and then the English people are more like Cognitive, and then the French are Cogmotive. And I find that part really nice.
Cogmotive. Okay. And the thinking behind the name?
Well, there isn't a lot of thinking behind the name. We, my business partner Dan and I, we were looking for a name for the company that wasn't really associated with anything like something 365. You can only ever do one thing. So we were.
What happens when Microsoft changes the name?
Exactly. So we thought we want something that could be anything that sounded cool as well, and we came up with some terrible ideas that I'm not going to even mention. And then we went onto a website where you could buy a logo, a company name, and a domain name for $120, and we scrolled through all of these and came across the Cogmotive one. And I love the logo because it has like the head inside a cog, which is sort of like automation, where you want to put some intelligence into engineering. Cogmotive is like emotive and cognitive. We thought that's really cool, and we bought that for $120, and the rest is history.
That's what I was going to pick on, the cognitive aspect of that name.
Well, we're trying
it
to
is about thinking.
It's about business intelligence, right?
Yeah.
It's about getting difficult concepts and numbers and all of the big data stuff, and just finding sense in it all. I thought that logo worked really well. And then I'd like one day I want to start like a microbrewery or gin distillery, and you can whack Cogmotive on that as well.
So how do you, that process of actually going to a site where you can buy that package, do you get keywords? Do you just like pick your business type, that kind of thing, and then
You
it will
can.
filter, or
Yeah,
did you
you
just
can.
literally scroll through pages?
Well, we scroll through pages because there was
Pretty
there
lucky
was-
to come across something like that, which fits perfectly.
I've looked since to find other kinds of names of products and things, and I never found anything as good. It was just one of those
Fate.
yeah,
Moments.
exactly.
Yeah.
Serendipitous.
Yeah, easy to say, means what has a good meaning about what your business is all about.
Yeah, and we were able to pick up all of the other domain names like .co.uk, .com.au, and everything as well because
Of
no one
course.
had them. So it's really, I mean, that's really important these days as well.
Yeah.
You gotta have that brand recognition.
Grab
everywhere.
that name.
That's kind of funny because I was going to say you almost ruined the story of how it happened. It's actually kind of cooler that it happened that way. It just, absolute fate. It's just perfect how you've got the
Well,
right name for the company.
Everyone thought, oh, you guys came up with this. It's fantastic.
It's
No,
done
we
really
can't
well.
take any credit for that. We were just lucky, really.
I like the chance of it that's what they were going into business for.
Yeah.
And without thinking too much, they came across that name, and it feels like a Forrest Gump experience of like a stumble into this thing that's gonna really change the history of what we do.
Yeah, and we're all about automation. And cogs symbolize that, and now we've got all of our other product logos when the cogs can all fit together as well, and they fit together as a suite.
And they turn. Yeah.
That's kind of how Darren and I were talking about this so when we do the APC Australian Partner Conference in September, I was asking for more, I guess, gimmicky stuff, giveaways, but that MSP complete story, but bundling everything together.
Yeah.
So same kind of thing where, almost jigsaws together, so you've got the MSP complete, giveaway, but you can sort of take little pieces of it and...
Like one of those puzzles you have to put together.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Are there, like you mentioned about the different cogs in Cogmotive?
Yes.
Ha ha ha. So what are the pieces to the puzzle?
So we've got 3 products, well 2 products with a third one coming out soon. We've got our sort of flagship product, the Office 365 reports, that give you exchange information, analytics information about Exchange, Skype for Business, licensing, mail traffic, sort of the productivity side or the messaging side of Office 365. And then we had probably about 2,000 or 3,000 customers on that, and people kept asking us for SharePoint information. So the second cog was our SharePoint Online reports, which goes a lot more into how permissions are applied on SharePoint, a lot more governance. Is document versioning enabled, auditing enabled? There's like a storage component as well, so if you ever use tree size tool on like a folder, so we've built like a SharePoint version of that.
Well, that makes sense.
To show where hierarchically the storage is consumed, so when someone runs out of space, instead of just buying more, actually find out where it's
Organise
being
it.
used. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
Brilliant.
the second cog, and those sort of things show you who has access to do something or who is actually using a service. The third one is more of an auditing tool, like a discovery and audit tool, to bring in all the management activity API. I don't know if you know about that. All of the events that people are doing on Office 365. So who's downloading files from SharePoint, who's renaming it, who's performing admin functions.
So I think that one, it sounds like all of them are important, but certainly at the moment, it's all about how our customers and partners helping their customers use Office 365, because they're going with email and they're not really making good use of SharePoint or OneDrive for Business, and that's where all the cool stuff's happening as well, the delve and the being able to find content and just really collaborate as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and you're paying for an E3 license, but if you're only using Exchange, you're not getting the full value of the suite. And so these big enterprise customers that we work with, they find out which departments in their organization aren't using Skype, for example.
Yeah.
They target them with training sessions and enablement sessions,
Perfect.
and then they use our reports to prove that it was successful. And then we have all these use cases where they want to see instant messaging use and like Skype for Business use going up, and then internal mail flow going down, because people don't send emails internally anymore, they send instant messages.
Yeah, that's right.
And then they move to OneDrive and SharePoint, and they see the size of internal mails go down as people stop attaching files. So they see the OneDrive story.
All that information is a great enabler for those MSPs that are sort of, how do I talk to my customers? How can I provide more value?
Yeah.
That's exactly what you just done. Here's a whole bunch of information.
Our MSP offering shows you all of your tenants in a single view. It shows you whose of your tenants isn't using Skype, and then you have an opportunity to phone them up, sell them some consulting time to help them get the value out of the services they're already paying for. And that's what we're trying to help. Similar to you guys, helping partners find sort of opportunities. We do the same sort of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it means to be a managed service provider. It's not just saying, I'm going to bundle it in and then I'll occasionally call you and have a chat. You actually want to have something that you can talk about with substance.
Yeah, exactly. And then having the data behind it.
Yeah.
Everything should be data-driven these days.
Yeah.
We know you're not doing this, we can see this, and we can help you improve. And then once they have improved, here's the data that shows that it worked.
And it's not a regular check-in, which is what can I sell you, what can I sell you. It's actually, here's why I'm the guy that you need on your portfolio, or like helping with managing your environment, that kind of thing.
Well, that's the whole story of the cloud is really changing the way these people are doing business. It's not selling a server every 3 years anymore, or selling Windows licenses every 3 years when a new version comes out. You've got to understand the business of your customer and help them use the tools to be more productive or more profitable.
How Azure or Azure or however else, anyway, Azure in Italy apparently.
Azure.
Yeah.
Azure.
Yeah, that's it. Where does that fit in? Have you got something that's
Not at the moment, no. We bring in a lot of the Azure AD information because that fits in with Office 365 very well. But we don't really have any Azure offerings at the moment. We're focusing, our background is Exchange, Skype. We've been messaging admins in our past lives and developers. So we're a very small company, we focus on the thing we know best, try and do it very well. And we don't want to just run after all of these other opportunities.
They are doing it well. Very small company, but how many mailboxes or seats?
So we've got 4 million seats under management at the moment. So that's, it was up from 2 million in the middle of last year.
Middle of last year, man, you guys are scaling.
We actually just hit our 2015 revenue in the first 6 months of this year. So
Nice.
doubling. So,
Good stuff. Yeah, so, what else can you tell us about Cogmotive that others might want to hear about? I mean, so we're about trying to enable managed service providers, but can a company just individually come to and make use of the services?
Well, actually, all of our sales to date have been direct. I'd say 2% of our revenue comes from our partners.
Okay.
And that's something we've been pretty bad at in the past, and we're actually launching a new MSP offering next Monday.
Right.
Where we've kind of tried a few times to build a partner program, and now I think we've finally got it down to a nice model that works. And that's what we were doing here at WPC, is talking to partners, seeing what we've got, see if it fits their model, and on Monday we're going to be launching that.
That's really quite surprising that you've got as much as you have and it's purely direct when it just hits every note for an MSP.
We deal with primarily large enterprise organizations, 20,000, 50,000 seats, and they don't tend to have these MSP relationships. Microsoft sends us customers directly a lot of the time as well. So when you're working with those larger ones, they don't tend to have any partners.
It's strange as well when you think the large consulting partners, even like KPMG, Deloitte, those kind of people, this is the sort of information that would be perfect for them.
We have got relationships with those kinds of companies, but it's more on because they have resources within the company themselves, and so they purchase directly. Those people actually work for Accenture.
They don't pick up the licensing yet.
No, they're just interested in the consulting.
That's it. They want the data. They don't care how it comes about. They make enough money doing what they do. They don't need to take margins as well. But I think we work with the larger companies. They're the ones who really need that insight that you can't really get with native tools in Office 365.
Exactly. So I know that Office 365 has come out with some reporting. It's there. I think they've been under some kind of pressure to try and anonymize a lot of stuff so that you can look at a report like we see with Delve Analytics and say, this is what's happening, but you can't really drill down into that detail. And I think that detail is actually what companies need so they can identify the people or the work groups that need the assistance.
Yeah, and not just on an individual basis, but grouping those in logical ways, department, country, city. When you have 50,000 users, you don't want an individual list of everyone.
Oh no, it's not going to be one-on-one training.
Exactly, you want to aggregate that in some way. And that's not available in the Office 365 portal. We have a really good relationship with the people who are building those reports in Office 365. And they're building it for 95% of their customer base.
It must feel good, having a company like Microsoft look to someone like Cogmotive and go, hey, you're doing a great job, but kind of a little flattery, right?
It is flattering.
It is.
But I mean, it's in their best interest and our best interest because they can't do everything, even though they're a massive company.
They
we
don't
have that
try,
little
really.
tiny thing that we're good at, we'll stick with that.
Yeah.
And they're happy to just send us over there as long as they can service the majority.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, coming back to WPC and some of the announcements or things that you saw in the keynote, because you said you were along to that, what was of interest there that you could see might, work quite well with Cogmotive?
So the most interesting thing was actually the second day, the workplace analytics.
Workplace analytics,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's like Delve, but on a company basis. Delve analytics on a company basis.
Right.
So you can see which departments are working after hours, which departments are scheduling the most meetings, and this is a real interesting thing for our enterprise customers. They want to know which departments are having meetings or online meetings versus face-to-face meetings, and which one are more productive. So which technologies are they using for that? In Europe as well, people have labor laws there. They're very different to the US. And in France, they want to know who's working after hours or the weekends, because that's illegal.
Right.
So they want to have
Illegal?
that. Well, it's against, they have very strict rules about working after hours.
Work-life
outside.
balance, that kind of thing.
Right.
So bringing that information in to see if the company is behaving against the law and everything.
Which is funny because
Compliance of sorts.
Yeah.
we've got a lot of French employees in our Singapore office, and Singaporeans are kind of almost the opposite of that French law. And so I've never actually looked into it, but I wonder how they've adapted to whatever their new surrounding, I guess.
Well, I think it's also on an individual basis as well.
Sure.
And not everyone will work hard in Singapore, not everyone will work less hard in France. But,
Yeah.
I mean, all of the French companies we work with, they work really, really, really hard during that time. And then they go and enjoy life.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty
I
good.
think that's just as good.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely, I'd take that.
It's not necessarily about wringing that stone till it's bleeding.
No.
But so that's definitely of interest. I can see like where that could be good to bring in and be part of that Cogmotive, be another cog, so to speak. It's going to be an area where, again, Microsoft will go to a certain point, but someone like our Cogmotive with your expertise could just push it that much further and bring it all into one suite.
Yeah, and we have the option of adding different data sets together. So when you see that these people are using meetings from the Workplace Analytics API, we go, okay, so what kind of SharePoint usage are they also doing? We can bring that data set in, what kind of OneDrive usage, and mail traffic information, and you can build a much more broader picture.
Because as I understand it, like the Delve Analytics, it was like an acquisition volume metrics.
Yep.
And so that's mostly based around email and calendar interactions.
Yeah.
So it feels like it needs more sources. Are you doing anything with Office Graph?
Yeah, we use that a lot. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of our information comes out of the Office Graph. So we're mainly the AD information. We haven't really used a lot of the relationship information yet. So we are looking at that, but it's very complicated. It's a huge data set. Getting it right is the hard part.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, augmenting your own data set as well. So
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, Microsoft has so many APIs and ways of getting information, and they don't even talk to each other internally. So we bring all of that into a single place.
I think that's it. Like, I mean, it's no disrespect to Microsoft, but like it is a huge company, and to get different areas working together to get that information, it takes a partner like Cogmotive to sort of pull it together and give it real value in a simple place.
And also, we focus on it heavily day in, day out, whereas for Microsoft, it may not be their primary focus. They've got so many things in that.
Yeah. Oh, well, man, it's really good talking to you.
Thanks very much.
What can you sort of leave the viewers and listeners as advice about how would they get started with Cogmotive?
How would they get started? Well, visit our website. We have free trial available, and then sign up.
What does that allow them?
It allows them full access to the product for 2 weeks. If it's not for you, we don't want to force you into buying it. Try it out for yourself with your own data. If you have any questions, there's a big support button there that links straight to our guys who will answer any questions.
Yep. Sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
We're a small company, everyone does everything.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Of course. Oh, that's good. Awesome. Well, wish you well.
Thanks very
Sounds
much.
like an awesome product.
Yeah, well, I've got to head off to the airport now. Going back to work, I guess.
You're in Canada now, you might as well visit the Ottawa office.
That's it.
Cool.
I'll be saying hello to them this afternoon.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Alan.
Cheers.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
And we're done. Nice and natural. But it was.